Yeah, from yes. Red Cross. Yes. I listened to you. Yesterday.
Thank you very much.
Yes. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Karibu ya Excellency.
Asante sana. Hello, how are you? Very good. Habari zenu?
Karibu
Habari
ya
yako?
Fine, thank you. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, Commander-in-Chief of Defense Forces, Your Excellency, the Deputy President, Honorable Rigathi Gachagua, CSS President, Honorable Governors, Development Partners, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellency, allow me to keep this very brief so that we allow you to do some other activities. Your Excellency, with your permission, allow me to invite Madam Anna Waiguru, who is the Chair COG, to make a brief remark. Thereafter, hand over to CS Kobia. I don't want to come here again, to Waziri Professor Kobia, who will invite the Deputy President to invite Your Excellency. Thank you.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya.
That's better. That's better.
Thank you, Excellency. Thank you, Excellency. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Your Excellency, the Deputy President, colleague Excellency Governors present, Cabinet Secretaries, Principal Secretaries, representatives of the development partners, other invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. We're gathered here to officially flag off relief food distribution to vulnerable households that are suffering as a result of the biting drought across the affected counties. Allow me to thank the national government, through your leadership, Your Excellency, for this initiative, which will go a long way in complementing efforts by county governments and other partners in ensuring that our people can access food, water, and other basic services. It is no secret that climate change has led to perennial droughts in ASAL and non-ASAL counties, thus negatively impacting the livelihoods of communities. This phenomenon has disrupted the traditional way of life for many Kenyans, pushing many to towns with no means of livelihood. Currently, worsening household food security situation has resulted in acute malnutrition rates across the counties, with 942,000 cases of children aged between 6 and 59 months acutely malnourished, and 134,000 cases of pregnant or lactating women acutely malnourished in need of treatment. This underscored the urgency of consulted government intervention to save lives and protect also the livestock, which is the livelihood of many Kenyans and communities. Your Excellency, county governments have continued to take swift action to caution the vulnerable population against the scourge of drought through provision of food rations, animal feeds, and water. It is worth noting that with the drought situation in the country, counties continue to face challenges in mobilizing local resources to adequately respond to the drought situation. This is occasioned by the delays in release of equitable share of revenue by the National Treasury to counties, which is inconsistent with the dictates of the Constitution and the Public Finance Management Law. Given the immense nature of the interventions that are necessary to save our lives, of our people and those of the livestock, the Council of Governors therefore requests the international community, development partners, non-governmental organizations, private sector, and all other partners to augment the government support to the most affected households. We further would like to request the national government through NDMA to fast-track the process of actualizing the Drought Emergency Fund, as well as immediately release the equitable share of revenue due to counties to scale up the humanitarian assistance to the household experiencing severe droughts. As I conclude, Your Excellency, I would like to give a commitment on behalf of the Council of Governors. The governors have committed to put resources and increase their emergency resources and also add their budgetary allocations to ensure that we are safeguarding the lives of the citizens that are threatened by this drought. We thank you once again for your leadership that has been demonstrated starting this morning with the meeting with the Deputy President, and we urge our colleagues and give our commitment to continue collaborating with the national government to make sure that we have addressed this issue and no life is lost. We thank you and God bless Kenya.
Thank you.
Your Excellency, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, President of the Republic of Kenya and Commander-in-Chief of Defense Forces, Your Excellency, Honorable Rigathi Gachagua, the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, Cabinet Secretaries present, Governors present, Development Partners present, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry about that delay. Your Excellency, on behalf of the ministry responsible for ASAL, Social Protection and Special Program, I wish to thank you for prioritizing to preside over the flagging of the food relief to go to affected Kenyans who are experiencing severe drought. Your Excellency, as you delivered your statement in United Nations General Assembly, you highlighted the global food crisis, the economic crisis, among other challenges that Kenya is trying to solve. We as public service, you gave us your focus, and we can say we share your vision and we are going to support your initiative, Your Excellency. The government, ministries, departments, and agencies, and development partners, humanitarian organizations, and the others who are represented here this afternoon, have committed to support the effort of Kenya, just as we know this severe drought affects Kenya and the Horn of Africa. Your Excellency, we also want to say that the development partners, the NGOs on the ground, they have really supported what Kenya is doing, including private sector represented here by Safaricom. In conclusion, Your Excellency, I want to thank each and every one of us who has participated in making this event a success. This afternoon, we are going to flag about 20,000 bags of rice, 24,000 bags of rice, and also about 450 animal feed, which are going to go to most affected 10 counties. It is now my humble duty, Your Excellency, to invite our Deputy President, Honorable Rigathi Gachagua, to give his remarks, and thereafter invite you, Your Excellency. Karibu sana.
Your Excellency, President William Ruto, I wish to confirm to you that, further to your direction yesterday morning, that we initiate talks between the county government and the national government with a view of creating a roadmap of dealing with this drought situation. A meeting took place this morning under my chairmanship, and we have already briefed you that we have agreed on the way forward. And I want to assure the people of Kenya that the President has directed that he wants a continuous engagement between the national government and the county government, because we serve the same people. And out of that consultation, a roadmap has already been created going forward. Your Excellency, let me also confirm to you that, further to your direction, that you want transparency in the distribution of relief food. It has been agreed that the food that you are flagging off today and subsequently will not be distributed by county commissioners alone. It will be a concerted effort between the national government administration, the county governments, and our development partners, so that there is transparency and there is efficiency. So, Your Excellency, let me also confirm the way you have directed that we meet weekly and give you appraised, and the people of Kenya appraised on the situation on how we are dealing with this problem. With those few remarks, it is now my pleasure to invite the President of the Republic of Kenya to make his remarks. Karibu sana.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Deputy President. Governors present here, ministers, friends who are partners with us in this effort, from the World Food Program, from Safaricom, from USAID, and all the other organizations present here today. Ladies and gentlemen, this afternoon we are here to flag off food, as has been mentioned by our CS responsible. We have in these 50 trucks 20,000 bags of rice, 20,000 bags of beans, and assorted animal feed, together with cooking oil that will go to the various parts of our country that today are facing serious challenges of drought. 3.5 million citizens in the Republic of Kenya are today severely affected by drought, not to mention livestock and other areas that are affected, delivery of water, the absence of pasture in many parts of our country. Currently, we have 23 counties across the country that are suffering the very serious and severe effects of drought. To avert any untoward further suffering of citizens in these areas, I did ask my deputy to convene a meeting of governors and all the other stakeholders, and we now have a plan of action to build on the plan that existed before, so that we can efficiently and expeditiously deal with the effects of drought in the various parts of our country. The brief that we have is that the many people who are suffering food, water, and many livelihoods, loss of many types of livelihoods, including livestock. As I have said, about 3.5 million Kenyans are affected in this manner. The food we are flagging up today, the next consignment, I have already agreed with the ministry concerned and with Treasury to make resources available so that the next tranche will be on Friday. And on a weekly basis, we will assess the situation and see what this intervention will mean for the people around the country and what additionally can be done as we go into the future. I want to commend development partners who are working with us, who are distributing food, those engaged in cash transfer on the ground. I have asked that we are going to have a meeting on Wednesday with our development partners so that we can harmonize our approach and make sure that we avoid any duplication in any part of the country, and so that we can leverage on the county teams that are assisting in identifying beneficiaries of this food and other items. I have also instructed the ministry responsible for water to urgently mobilize water bowsers so that we can deliver water to many parts of Kenya, and under the direction of the Deputy President, they will map out the areas that require water bowsers together with the governors present here and those who are not here, so that again we can be able to address that challenge of water around the country. Thirdly, we have also agreed that county governments will equally make provisions in their budget, even if they have to slow down some of their projects and programs, so that we can take care of this situation. The same thing we are doing at the national government. We expect county governments to adjust their budget so that there can be available additional resources to take care of the drought situation in the country. I have also told the Deputy President, being the chair of IBEC, to make sure that county governments are facilitated to adjust their budgets so that they can make resources available, working with the Comptroller of Budget and all the other institutions so that we can take care of this situation, because indeed it is a very severe situation. I also want to say that to thank the military, NYS, our development partners for mobilizing the transportation of this food around the country and into the counties that require this food. And we are looking forward to working with others to make sure that we facilitate this whole exercise. I have also asked the Treasury to work with the counties so that they can favorably consider adjustments of the various interventions that are required to make it much more easy for Kenyans to deal with the current situation. We will also be mobilizing resources for animal offtake, where we find that the animals are too weak. We are going to work with Kenya Meat Commission to make sure that there is an offtake program that will facilitate citizens not to be stuck with livestock when they do not have a pasture. And finally, let me also say that I have asked the Deputy President to, on a weekly basis, make these consultations possible so that we can monitor as government the steps that are required for us to ensure that no Kenyan dies of hunger as we manage the effects of climate change and as we think on the long-term solutions to this challenge. Finally, I am asking all our farmers across the country that we are now in the process of facilitating availability of fertilizer in many parts of our country, especially those with short rains. We will also mobilize for fertilizer for the long rains. I want to ask all farmers who had cut back on acreage under food production that the government of Kenya will support them fully in these short rains and in the coming long rains so that we can produce sufficient food to take care of our food requirements as a country. And in the short term, we are working as part of our plan to ensure that we transit our agriculture from rain-fed to irrigation And in so doing, we are going to be working with the private sector on the delivery of water under our public-private partnership. As I have committed, we are going to work on the law so that we create provision for water purchase agreements that will make it possible for the private sector to invest in the water sector, and we can buy water from them, and we do not have to deploy huge resources from government in that sector. The private sector can work with us in our bigger plan of ensuring that Kenya becomes a food secure nation. It is my hope that this will be among the last times we are doing this kind of ceremony, where Kenyans are facing starvation and hunger, and we have to do this. I think it is possible for us, going into the future, to have a much more proactive approach to situations like this so that we manage them ahead of time and avoid situations of a crisis like the one we are in. For the last 4 years, we have had failure of rain in many parts of Kenya, and that is what has exacerbated this situation, and hopefully we should be able to be better prepared as we go into the future. I want to thank all the stakeholders, the governors, for undertaking that they will work with us and work with all the other stakeholders in not just making sure that we have additional resources for food, but also working together with our development partners in making sure that this food gets to the right beneficiaries and there are no duplications and there are no issues of integrity around the distribution of food to those who are in need. So I want to say thank you very much for all those who have made this possible. I look forward to making sure that this situation is managed and we don't lose no citizen to hunger because of the drought situation we have in the country. Asanteni sana, and may God bless you. So we can wapi ile bendera basi sawa sawa.
Cosa va a fare?